Just want to give a massive shout out to NordVPN, the sponsors of this podcast episode. Now, if you don't have a VPN at the moment, it's a very simple thing to download and to use, and it keeps you safe when you are surfing the World Wide Web, but also it helps us. I mean, we're currently away in the United States of America, and if we want to watch our favorite streaming apps from home, we can use the VPN so it still thinks we are in Old Blighty. And as mentioned, it offers extra layers of protection when surfing the web. If you go to nordvpn.com/roughcut, you can get 4 months free on a 24-month plan. So it is well worth having a look at. Right, guys, huge thank you to NordVPN. Now let's get into the podcast where we have a very special guest.
Sometimes golf is a pain in the butt. You hit your ball in the trees and then you lip out the putt. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us. Just now you're listening to the Rough Cut.
Hey everyone, welcome down to the podcast, and today we have a very special guest, Danny Maude. How are you?
Good to see you again.
It's amazing to see you again. It's been a whole 2 minutes since we were out on the golf course. Every time we do like an intro to a new video, we have to pretend
that we haven't seen each other
we've
forever.
not seen each other rather than spend the last 24 hours together. Welcome down, mate. I'm sure you know Danny, but if you don't, if you're listening to this, make sure you head over to his YouTube channel. And if you're watching this on YouTube, it's linked in the description below. But I'm pretty safe I'm saying that you're the most watched golf coach on the internet right now. And probably have been for the last few years.
It's been a pretty busy few years. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah,
fun.
And we've got loads of questions for you guys, for Danny, on coaching, on golf. But also we've got Kieran here, who is behind the camera today.
Hello.
Oh, well, you got a mic as well.
I have got a
joining
mic.
in.
Full-on producer.
Oh, literally full-on producer.
Why can't you come and join us over here?
Well, because it's just framed nicely.
Oh, okay,
It's just-
fair enough.
It's just
Fair-
framed
all
quite
right,
well.
there we go.
Like if I was to move it about, it just kind of just in terms of a framing, it looks
Okay.
quite
As long
nice.
as you're okay over there.
Yeah,
We're
no,
just a little
I'm-
bit worried about you over there
Yeah,
in the
no,
corner.
no, I'm
We're
grand.
missing Jacob today apparently because he's not very well.
Yeah, he couldn't
Yeah.
make it. So
Yeah.
So only the three of us today.
Yeah.
So I think we'll kind of lead off just with a kind of quick chat about stuff that's been going on recently, and about we're going to talk a little bit about pro golf, but it's mostly about kind of like the players and some of the things that they've been doing or kind of going through. So first up, I'm probably going to start off with Marco Penge. So Marco Penge has been on an absolute tear recently.
Incredible.
Was an argument to kind of make the Ryder Cup, but I think the form that he's shown this year, it was really, really good, but probably not consistent enough over the last two to kind of get into Luke Donald's thoughts for Beth Page.
And we did all right, didn't we?
And we did okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure we missed him, but we kind of did. But he's won in Spain, the Madrid Open. And with Marco, he's a relatively young pro.
Yeah.
He's obviously playing some incredible golf right now. And his real weapon is his distance.
It's super powerful. I was seeing some on Instagram in his last event, and it was like, over 190 ball speed or something? It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Every kind of clip I see of him, distance-wise, it's pretty much high 80s, 190s.
Yeah.
Let's put that in context.
And that's in real play.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you see obviously people doing this when they're smashing and warming up and stuff and having a bit of fun, but this guy's doing it in tournament conditions under the gun.
Yeah.
Which is super impressive and is accurate.
Yeah. I mean, there's only really a few players who are going to be able to match that as far as ball speed go. I mean, you have Bryson, Rory can get there as well if he's really pushing it. But I mean, what do you see in? We'll kind of go straight kind of into the coaching there with Marco. Like, if you're looking at his swing and you're looking at building power within a swing, like what does he do and what would you be looking for that you could
He's just
tell everybody else?
I mean, look, I think the first thing is I think he has a swing that is efficient that allows him then to get power. So for instance, you look at his natural movement, he's wide, it's at the same time it's under control, he's not all over the place. So once you've got a movement that is, you know, reasonably repeatable, then you can kind of like, you know, you can speed it up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereas I think a lot of players, we hear a lot about club head speed at the moment. And one of the things I think it's dangerous for amateurs to start to kind of follow that trend. It's great if you're a tour player because they've already got an efficient motion. They're already making solid contact. They've already got the ball flight, on a rope. So in order for them to compete now at the highest level, they've had to step on it. They've had to increase that club head speed. I think for maybe the amateurs maybe watching, I think first and foremost, it's just let's make some solid contact first. Let's get you, striking the ball on a more consistent basis. Let's start to kind of focus on things that are going to make you a bit more accurate. And then, that's where I would always start. And what Marco's able to do is you see him, look, he's using a lot of the ground force. He's using that vertical. You can see the way he's, almost jumping, to smash that driver. That is something that is, I think, it's useful for amateurs, but it's something that will come once they've built some form of efficiency.
What would you say, because I think the argument, to play kind of devil's advocate, I suppose, with this, is if you are starting out, and certainly if you're a young golfer, a junior, there's players like, I know Rory said it quite a bit, I think Charlie Hull from the ladies side says it quite a bit, as far as like, if you're a junior, if you're giving a junior coaching, the thing you should focus on the most is power.
Yes.
To get them hitting it as far as possible, and then you can kind of hone in the technique after that.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. I think the difference is with a lot of people on the other side of the lens is like, a lot of them, they don't have the physical ability. So I think one of the things a lot of the time is like they don't have the mobility to do a lot of this stuff. I think when you talk about kids, I think, I was hearing something from Greg Rose actually, and he was doing some testing at TPI, and he was noticing that when a person, like I said, the younger guys, when they try and hit the ball harder and harder and harder, they technically get better.
Right.
They're actually technically better. I think sometimes if you're being very careful, that is, you've seen the guys who are like over the golf ball. They're like, make sure I strike this perfect, and everything becomes a bit too controlled. That's different. Yeah. That's then where your technique is almost like it's pointless. It's like Whereas the better players, I mean, like what Greg was saying, is like the guys are technically getting better and better and better because their bodies move more efficiently because of that intent. Yeah.
I think it's something that I was a little bit of a guilty of this when I was coaching, certainly when I started out coaching properly, about trying to figure out how people were moving and their limitations before trying to add things into their swing.
Yes.
Like you're still giving a lot of lessons. I really don't coach at all anymore. Like, how would you go about assessing that originally? Because if people come in for lessons...
Great. It's unbelievable. So it's a really good example. So I had this, I did a lesson recently on this. So a guy comes to me and he said, I saw that lesson that you did with Pete Cowan. On my channel, I absolutely loved it, and I'm really, really struggling. And Pete talked about from here, like setting the kind of right arm in position and being able to put pressure on the back of the golf ball. The problem is, so one of the things we'll do is like if you take somebody here and they can't get into external rotation, as an example. Yeah. So I would say at least 50% of my students can't do this. Yeah. Right. So the problem. So what's the advantage of being able to kind of do this? Well, it's a great way of keeping the club shallow. Right, so it's a really great way of keeping the club shallow on the way down. If this does this, for a lot of people, that will steepen the club, it gets you coming over the top, right? But if you're trying to do this and you physically can't, then you have to find different ways to shallow the club. Yeah. And that's what people don't realize. So instead, if you're like this, which a lot of people are, then you've got other ways to do it. You can shallow it with wrist, you can shallow it with a bit of side bend. There's other ways to do it. So it's kind of recognizing that there is multiple ways to get the job done. And I think for a lot of players at a golf club who do have those ailments, it's definitely worth kind of seeing a coach that measures those kind of things. Yeah.
Well, I know I went through a little bit of training when I was doing my PGA about like biomechanics and physical assessment. I think it's a tricky one when you get somebody in for a lesson to then say, okay, Dave, you're 54 years old, you've been a bricklayer all your life. The first thing we're going to do to try and fix your slice is we're going to take you through a full screening.
Yeah.
It might be a bit like, I don't really know about this, but it's so important because I think it became more and more evident the longer I was coaching that sometimes the movements that people are making and the efficiency of those movements, to use that word you were using before, it's sometimes not possible for them to make a change because they physically can't get into certain positions.
100%. I mean, I had a student come over from Germany a few weeks ago, and even on a basic chip shot, it's really interesting. So we were trying to improve his angle of attack, strike ball first. He was getting a lot of fats and stuff, and I was like, this is really interesting. He's spinning out of the shot every single time. He's kind of falling back to his right side.
No, during chipping.
During just a basic chip shot, and he did it massively in the swing. So he would literally turn back. So he would come down, he'd turn behind, and he'd fall back, and he'd start fatting it, thin it. So I was like, okay, it's interesting. So he showed me some videos, and when he came over, we started with his chipping. And I thought, my guy's doing the same thing as chipping. He's kind of like moving backwards. So naturally, I wouldn't have thought that would have been a fitness thing or a limitation on such a small shot. So I tried to kind of move him forward onto his left side and just keep him there and just kind of, get him striking it. But whenever he did that, he moved back. And so we did a little assessment, and he physically couldn't get there. Right? So, and it hurt him. It actually hurt him to stay there. Right? So he was always serving it. So what we did was we had to completely adapt everything we did. So we got him right foot way back. We did some other little tweaks because we needed, look, science is science, right? So you can't cheat a ball, a strike. So we have to get him striking that golf ball, but we had to completely adapt him. And from down the line, if everyone was watching him chip, they were like, what the hell's he doing? But it worked. Yeah. So there's an example of if you don't have that ability or flexibility, you're really struggling. Just getting some form of assessment, I think, opens the door to think, oh, okay, you can't make that move. Let's try something different.
Yeah, I think it's something where, it's often, certainly pros often ask me when we're talking about kind of videos, making videos, what effect do coaching videos have on people? And I think that's probably the one area where, if you're watching a video online to fix a slice or whatever it may be, if you have an in-person lesson with a good coach, that's the kind of thing that makes a difference, where it's not so much, you're not so much following a model of how a swing should look, you're trying to get the best out of your swing. But anyway, it's like kind of off tangent. Someone who is struggling with their swing right now because they can't move is Tiger.
Yeah.
Did you see it's about?
He's had a disc operation, hasn't he?
Yeah, another one. Yeah, he has a full metal spine at this point. I think what this actually means is he's going to win the Masters next.
Yeah.
But I think with Tiger, is this it? Is this finally the end though?
I mean, you'd say so, but I hope not. Yeah. Because look what he's done. I mean, there's so many people who've written him off, and he then goes and wins the Masters. I think one thing that guy, I think this is a really interesting one because of his body, and this is what I think people can learn from, because of his body, he's had to change his swing completely over the years. Complete change, doesn't it? Little bits here and there because of his body. But what Tiger knows what it takes to strike a ball. So no matter what his body's doing, he's working around all of those kind of injuries and whatever because he knows how to strike it. Yeah. It's a little bit, I use a silly analogy sometimes, like hammering a nail into a piece of wood, right? If you strap my arm behind my back and pull my elbow up here, I'd still find a way to knock that nail into that piece of wood, right? Yeah. And I think that's what, I would never write him off because he knows how to do it. I don't think every pro knows. No. When they lose their swing, whatever that might be, they don't know how to get it back because I think he knows something about how to hit a golf ball that a lot of people don't.
Yeah, it was one of the most impressive things a few years ago at the Open when he was when he turned up and when he played. He missed the cut, but he missed the cut because of the weather because it was so cold. Yeah, and watching him on the range was still one of the most impressive bits of ball striking I think I've ever seen from a pro because he was just hitting irons and. Like distance-wise, it was good. It was like 175, 180 with a 7-iron, that type of thing. It was
still
really
like pure
good.
As well.
Every single ball flight that he was hitting was just like he hit 5 little draws in a row, and it was through the same window. Really? He'd switch up to a different club, and it was just so consistent. It was so pure. And then it was one of the best things I've ever seen, but also for me, big Tiger fan. hero growing up.
Yeah.
Probably one of the saddest as well, because he'd hit a few shots, but then he like took a step back, and even just like stepping back, you could see how uncomfortable it was. So when he was over the ball, and when he was set, and when he was swinging, it looked amazing.
Yeah.
As soon as he started to move, you could be like, oh man, he's not gonna make it round.
And I think that, do you think that's what he's going to struggle with more than anything else, is actually just the walking?
I think so.
And actually just getting around a golf course. Not actually the hitting the golf balls as such, but actually just the walk.
actually physically getting
around for 4 rounds of golf. And practice as well.
Because I think even in the last few years, he's still regularly playing.
Right.
But it's all kind of car golf.
Yeah, of course.
So if the PJ want to get together and say, we will make an exception for this guy.
Yeah.
Like, he can take a car.
Well, he doubles the, what did he do once? When he came back, did he double the revenue or something on the PGA Tour when he came back?
Like, literally, like, as soon as he plays in an event, even now, having not played really in the last, 2 years? As soon as he turns up, everybody wants to watch. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you were saying like how excited it is to stand behind him and hit golf, watch him hit golf balls. I'd be like, I would be there. I would be that person.
I was so, because it was between, I was doing like the live of the range stuff. So it was between doing the commentary stuff.
Did you enjoy that, by the way?
Yeah, it was good.
Did you?
It's good. It's an interesting one doing live TV, but
in what way?
It's because when we're like making content, for example, where we set all the cameras up and we can talk and we can go for a full day if we really want to get the maximum amount of content. When it's all live TV, you're waiting around for an hour. So you might be scheduled to be on for 3 hours.
Okay.
But within that 3 hours, you might actually be only working for 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like 5 minutes of really quick talk, and then it's away to somebody else.
Right.
And then it's back to you.
So there's a lot of waiting around?
So much waiting. And it was in one of those like little gaps that I was just waiting around when Tiger came. And I was stood like from me to the, like, probably the fireplace a bit further away. Maybe from here to like the pool. I don't know. It was about 15 foot.
Yeah.
I was just stood there and I was watching somebody else who was kind of hitting. And then all of a sudden, like, this massive guy, security guard, comes in, just kind of like stands over here. I'm like, oh, it's a bit weird. And then
is that because you were stalkering, get a bit closer?
yeah. Because I'm just stood here, and then like Tiger kind of walks in, kind of he sets up literally right in front of me.
Right.
And because I'm already there, I'm like, I'm
moving down. That's it.
Moving. There's not a chance. No one. 12 white stallions could not pull me away
from
it.
Did you film anything?
I filmed a little bit,
yeah.
I filmed a little bit, but also I was filming a bit, and then I thought, potentially maybe for one of the first times since doing all the YouTube stuff, I just watched.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah,
and it was really good. I really
you
enjoyed
were that guy in the picture where everyone else is funny and you're just drinking your beer.
Yeah, the bud guy. Yeah,
you're like, yeah.
And I was just like, just watching.
Yeah,
and it's just great. And it was because to be that close to somebody you've like admired for so long. It's like, oh my God,
I remember when he was down. I think we had the Open Championship down at Royal St George's. I think it was 2003, and I had a practice ground pass, and I watched him warm up hitting golf balls. And I remember he had this kind of warm up where he would hit a shot with like a club. I don't know what it was, it could be a wedge. I think we did all of them, and it would just go, and it wouldn't hit it full out. It'd be like maybe 50 yards, like 2 or 3 doing that. Then almost just, he was like ramping it up, 75.
Yeah.
And a few more, 95. And it was just like he was like a Rolls Royce, just kind of winding up. It was just the most beautiful thing to watch. And like I said, the level of control in his swing at that point, it was just incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible.
There's a few people that you watch play and you watch hit, and you're like genuinely impressed.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, he's definitely one of them. Yeah. We've got some questions in from the World Wide Web.
We do.
Do you have them, Kieran?
I have. I've got 6 questions down here for obviously for Danny, but then also for you to also take the floor a little bit as well.
This is why I love having guests on. I can take a bit.
Yeah, you can just relax.
Yeah. I can just smile and nod.
So the first question is from Mark Roberts. Will Danny Maude ever run out of lessons?
Well, I run out of lessons. Do you know what? I'm retiring right now. This is it. I'm done.
Big announcement.
It's impossible that I coach every single week, and my lessons and most of my videos, nearly all of my videos, are simply just stories of what I've done that week. So if people stop coming for golf lessons, then I'll probably dry up maybe YouTube videos. But while people are still coming, I'm all good.
Very, very good. And the next one. This one is a little bit of an amalgamation of two here from Hermitage 10 and Benjamin Goldstone. If there's one thing you'd say for every level of golfer to remember, to keep in mind, to improve, what would it be? What should they focus on?
Every level of golfer.
Like breaking it down into sort of like high to mid to low.
I would say the number one thing I would focus on is what is happening to your ball flight and your strike. And anything that you decide to change needs to be completely and utterly related to that. And it needs to improve that. And it sounds like an obvious thing to say, but I see too many golfers trying to just simply change the golf swing. And I'm like, when I ask them, I said, well, why are you working on that? I just want to get it in here. And I'm like, what has that got to do with your fatting it at the moment? How is that going to improve that? I don't know. That's my point, right? So it's kind of anything that you're doing right now, make sure that it has one objective, which is to either improve your strike, improve your contact, or improve something to do with your flight. It's not just, you're not just working on swing, basically.
Should always start there with, I mean, whenever you go for a lesson as well, like if you're going in and the first thing that isn't addressed is what is happening to your ball flight, that's you need to focus on that, because that gives you all the information that you need as far as where you need to start with your improvement. So ball flight, absolutely, and because obviously with lessons, we give a lot of lessons in our time, and once you get in a run and once you understand what's going on, you can pretty much try and understand what's going on very quickly from where that ball is going and how that strike is sounding and the divots and all the rest of it. And I think, like you said, it's amazing. It's amazing how many people used to come in for lessons with a poor strike or a slice or whatever. And the question is, what are you working on? And the amount of crazy, wild answers that you get, which have nothing to do with their kind of swing issues.
They don't like the look of their swing.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't like this. And they're trying to change the look of it, and it's kind of, it doesn't have any relationship. So definitely, it's
kind of Kieran's a really good example of this.
Well, that's kind of interesting because I was going to mention about, I thought you were going to say something like setup or something like that, but it's interesting that you've kind of.
Well, I think from what like Danny said before with the gentleman who came in for the chipping lesson. So, I mean, a lot of great golfers have amazing swings, amazing technical swings that you look at and you're like, oh, that is just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But if you spend 2 minutes thinking about 10 golfers who play incredible golf with pretty eccentric, weird moves, that gives you all the information that you need to know that you don't have to have a technically perfect looking swing to play incredible golf. No. It's just what works.
It is, and I think one of the things that's probably hurt golf a lot is like, you'd have these. I mean, look at if you take one of the greatest golfers ever lived, Jack Nicklaus. Nobody's talking about modelling Jack Nicklaus's swing. We talk about Ben Hogan's swing, but Ben Hogan didn't win half as many majors as say Jack Nicklaus, right? Great golfer, but because his swing was beautiful, it just people loved it. That's what I want. Right? Yeah. That was almost like worshipped as the swing that we should strive towards, right? But I don't know whether that's necessarily true or not. If you look at someone like the world's #1 golfer right now, Scotty Scheffler, he has more resemblance, I think, to Jack Nicklaus in the way he kind of swings. He's got elbows up here. He's nice and high with the hands. He's got a bit of a slide going on. He does a lot of things that's similar to Nicklaus, but it wouldn't look like a Ben Hogan at all.
No.
And he's world's #1, and he doesn't do anything what I see wrong at all.
No. Again, I think like Randy Smith, who's kind of coaching him, I think he said from quite an early point, like they've worked on a fair few things technically within the swing, but it's all about trying to move the ball to target as efficiently as possible. And
so like the grip and stuff, simple stuff, anything it's all about target. It's all about what you try to do with the ball flight. Yeah,
exactly. But I think it's easy to forget, and certainly with from what we do, like coaching, it's and making videos, it is a lot about how things look, because that's how you can explain it to people who are watching the videos.
Yeah.
So it is easy to get kind of lost in that. And like I said with Nicholas is a great example, because when he was, the dominant force in golf, yes, his swing was, not textbook in some ways, but also his putting. Yeah. Like, he was one of the greatest putters.
Exactly. And clutch putters as well.
Yeah. And like, I don't know if this is going to be a clip or not, but like, try and get some videos of him putting. There's no way if someone comes in for a lesson, you're going to try and coach them into that type of method.
No.
Unless they come in putting like that already and they're holding everything.
Yes.
And then you're like, well, I'm not going to touch this.
But isn't that just another example of, great putters don't necessarily look like what they should look like?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I find that, I think sometimes, even with putting, people can technically look correct, but you just know that they're so mechanical. They've lost that kind of flair. They've lost that touch, that sense of like, you've got to get the ball in the hole.
Yeah.
And there's so much to that start line, but the distance control, the feel, the determination that's in you to kind of get that ball in the hole, you can't measure that.
No, and it is quite a strange one. Like I've been on lessons with Phil Kenyon on my putting.
Yeah.
And he does an amazing job at like looking at every single technical factor of the putting stroke.
Yeah.
Breaking it all down, explaining exactly what's going on, and then just like we had I think it was a 3-hour lesson.
Yeah.
And I think we spent about 40 minutes just on like my position of my neck.
Wow.
Just so I could actually see the line.
Did you get your neck almost like face down?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I used to call it eat pie. I used to call it.
Yeah. It was the weirdest thing, because like by the end of the lesson, what he'd actually done is just get me into like a really comfortable position over the putt.
And what was the purpose of like for you?
So when I was over the ball, I was seeing every single putt, like I was aiming my putter, I was aiming my body, I was aiming everything a little bit to the right of the target.
Okay.
So over short putts, not a massive difference, but by the time I got to about 20 foot, I was aiming a good kind of 4 or 5 inches outside the right. So I was
and that was
pulling
because
everything.
of your head position?
Like posture, head positioning.
Wow, okay.
Loads of like just
where your eyes were relative to the ball.
Yeah, all these little details, which was making me aim odd.
Yeah.
And golf, aim orientated sport, especially on putter.
Very much so. Yeah.
So it's kind of like just those little things managed to get me into a really good.
So how did you how did he kind of get you to change? How did you figure out where your eyes needed to be?
It was just like real simple, like a trial and error as far as, okay, get set up, here's where you are, step away, get set up, try and get closer, get this neck bend position in.
Yeah.
And it was just like a full session of that. It was kind of eye-opening about how he managed to make so many changes without really changing too much.
No, but I think that's what great coaching is about. Get into the root cause of the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, stop blowing smoke up Phil's bum. Right, next one.
No, there was next one, and this I must say that this was the most asked question, and it was, when are we going to see a match between Pete and Danny?
Oh, an actual
on-course match.
I've had that loads on my channel too.
Yeah.
When we will definitely make it happen. I need to get back to full fighting fitness.
Danny doesn't play golf. Danny's actually just like a really solid 17 handicap.
That's generous. No, we'll definitely have a game. I think once I'm getting my playing boots back on. I was a little bit injured early on in the year, and I'm just recovering, but we'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to get out there a little bit more.
Yeah, I love playing. I mean, we're here at Eagle Point, aren't we, in the US, and I'm playing tomorrow, and I just can't wait to get back on the golf course.
It looks so good.
It's so good.
We did a little bit out there on the par 3 course as well. I am excited but worried about these greens.
Do you know what? I was out chipping this morning, and it was just beautiful, right? I was chipping this ball, and I was like, what a great shot that is, and just trickled up to it like about a couple of feet, and I just kept going. By the time it finished, like 50 feet away, I was like, this is just
Honestly,
ridiculous.
It's like different. A little bit of a different level out here.
But they are saying this is like they said that this is like Augusta, didn't they?
Yeah.
So it's going to be great. It's going to be great fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Did you ever play like any sort of like on a professional level? Like did you play much like?
Yeah, no, I did.
Like,
yeah, no, I did. I mean, I made it to final Open qualifying, a bit like Pete did, back in 2013. It was the last local qualifying, so I was up at Dunbar and played London Club for regional, got it to final. That was kind of my last professional event, and my daughter was born. It took us 5 years to have Ava, and when my daughter was born, I was playing my best golf of my life at that stage, and I was absolutely loving it. But you know what? I just love my family more. And the thing about playing professionally is I know what you have to give up to play professionally, and it is an unbelievable amount of time. Like it's not playing an event is one thing, but you know it's like it's the preparation that goes into that, the practice rounds, the travel, and all those kind of things. And I don't want to just make up the numbers by turning up to a tournament. You want to compete, you want to try and win and those kind of things. And I miss it, and when I see people doing it, there's no doubt about it. I feel envious. My 20-year-old self inside feels envious, like I really want to do it. But when I just step back and think, do you know what? No, I'm really, really lucky that I get to put my kids to bed at night, every night, and all those kind of things. So I love it. There is this part of me what really still wants to do it. But right now, I'm at a stage in my life where I'm really enjoying that kind of balance between work and spending time with my family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's great.
So I'm all right, I don't have kids.
Any plans? No.
No, I don't think I can be trusted.
Well, that's probably right, actually. You need to grow up first.
I just don't. Yeah. I don't think I'd be very good. And they're not really interesting when they're young, are they?
No, not when they get to about 2, you're okay. But prior to that, no.
If I had the money,
Yeah.
like I'd probably take quite a Victorian approach, I think.
Would you just
So get
chastise them? And...
No, just get a nanny. So I'd be like, they're obviously born, great, bundle of joy.
Yeah. Send them off to boarding school?
Or you get a nanny, don't you?
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
a nanny first until they're like, I don't know what, 6?
Yeah.
And then you send them off to prep school.
Prep school, you do.
And then you send them off to boarding school.
A long way away as well, so they can't come back.
Yeah. And then they're off to boarding school till they're like, is it 16, something like that?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
And then they might be a bit interesting.
And then send them off to
And
university.
then you're off to university.
Yeah.
And then
you
move out. And then
give
they go.
them a few quid so they can buy their own house to get out.
and then you die and you hope they turn
Well,
up
there
to the
you go.
funeral.
Well, you've got your strategy.
That's life 101 by me.
Oh my god.
Simple times.
How do you move forward?
Where do we go from there, Pete? Where do we go from there? Right.
Well, there is another question here, just about like your does like coaching ever kind of get in the way of your enjoyment of playing a little bit? Would you say as well?
I think there's I mean, I was saying earlier. I think do I miss playing? 100%. Do I miss competing? Absolutely. And there is this, of course, there's this feeling like I just really want to do it. But I also absolutely love putting a smile on somebody's face. And one of my favorite type of golfers to coach, I've mentioned so many times, I love coaching senior golfers. I love coaching people that think that they can't improve. And they've gone past that point. And when they see that, it's like you've taken 20 years off them. In that moment, they're young again almost. It's just the most amazing feeling I get. So I absolutely love that. And like I said, I just love getting back home. I love spending time with Laura and the kids and what have you. So I just keep reminding myself of that. But without a shadow of a doubt, all of that 100% gets in the way of playing, and I miss it daily. Really do.
It's something. If you want to do, that's the same as any job in the world. Like if you want to do something, if you want to be the best at something to do your ability, that's what you've got to do.
Yes.
Yeah, you've got to be all in on it. Like,
You do.
Like I do miss coaching as well, but there's not a chance that I'd be able to do this. I mean, doing all the YouTube stuff, the only reason I can still play in those comps is because we make videos about those comps.
I know, exactly. It's
and
great.
It actually means that if I have to practice, which obviously I have to practice, I can justify it.
Yes. Yeah.
And I could be like, right, I have to practice because we're filming this event, and if I don't practice and we film this event, I'm not going to play well.
Absolutely. And I watch, I watch what you do, and I absolutely love it. And there's 100% times when I see, likes yourself and Grant and all the guys playing, filming YouTube videos out on the golf course, and I'm like, oh, I'd love to do that. And I have those moments where I think, maybe I should do that. I love the idea of that. But then I pull myself back and I go, I can't do that travel.
Yeah.
I just can't do it, you know. But I love, you know, if you've got that time it's amazing, you know. And like you say, you have to commit. For me, to be good at something, you've got to sacrifice a lot to be good at something. In my view,
like with coaching, you've got to practice.
You do.
Like certainly when I was coaching, I knew like if I had a few weeks off from that, if that was like going on holiday or playing or filming or whatever, like even after that small space of time, after a few weeks, I'd come back and I'd be rusty.
You're rusty,
You'd be rusty.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Rusty from.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it was kind of like I gave one of Carly's friends' brothers. I gave a lesson to him a few years ago. It's the only lesson I've given in the last like 4 or 5 years, and he was really struggling shanking his chips. And we went out on the golf course and kind of got that sorted, which was great. You know, felt really good. Yeah. Got that sorted. And then he just struggled with a few kind of chunked chips as well. And I was kind of looking at it, and it took me a good, probably like 20, 25 minutes of like playing and chipping. In my head, I'm like, I can see what he's doing, but I'm like, what's the fix? How do I get him to make the moves that I want to make him? Like, how can I explain this in a way which is going to
And that's the thing.
That's really interesting.
You just lose
think
your touch. It's the same as anything.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
If you spend time doing something, if you want to be really good at something, you have to do it consistently. You have to practice. You have to train. You have to deepen your knowledge level. And if you take a break from that,
it's like an obsession as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I mean, it's like this. I have that. That's my obsession. I love performance. I love figuring out what makes people good at something, and also, more importantly, how do you take your knowledge and turn it into a language that person's going to be able to action?
Yeah.
Not you could speak all this stuff like early extension and, you know, ulnar and deviation, radial deviation and whatever, and then people are going, and you can sound impressive, like, you know, but the reality is that's not necessarily going to make any difference. Yeah. And that's like, you know, it's whatever you're doing, you have to have, in my view anyway, this just desire and obsession to be the best or the great, you know, great at it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. Completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think, is that much question? What time are we?
Yeah, we're 1:15.
Yeah, because we are.
We're gonna get a shower.
We're
about to get on a boat.
They're about to get on a boat.
We're getting on a boat.
You're getting on a boat.
We're getting on a boat.
And it's nicely calmed down outside. I was a little bit nervous before the wind that it was going to be a bit choppy. But if this is the last time that you see me and Danny.
Well, you have a nice beer.
Yeah, I'm going to sit and edit this podcast, and
Yeah.
you guys are going to go on a boat. And
Yeah, we're just going to go out into the waves. We're going to enjoy the sunset here at what coast are we?
this is Atlantic. Atlantic.
The Atlantic.
Yeah. That is the Atlantic right there.
That is the Atlantic right
That
there.
is the Atlantic right there.
It's good to work here, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's the Atlantic, like we're pointing down, aren't we? A bit.
Yeah, no, this is.
It's not the side Atlantic. It's the bit cool.
It's still the Atlantic, isn't it?
It's a warmer part of the Atlantic, but
Right.
it's still the. this is the Atlantic. Yeah.
So cool. For more geography lessons, we'll
get Kieran on.
Right, mate. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
No, I appreciate that.
Really appreciate it. And if you've not checked out Danny, make sure you do on his socials and on YouTube and, of course, the website as well. So just DannyMaude.com.
DannyMaude.com. And we will get this match organised.
I think this match needs to happen.
We will happen.
This match really needs to happen.
Yeah.
Really needs.
Yeah, it needs. Yeah, I think it.
We'll do. We'll have some
just
fun.
by going off the amount of, like, you know, there was sort of in a mix of everything.
We'll have some fun.
There's demand.
There you go. So
There's demand.
You've got to get the supply.
That is it. What a great excuse for me to get back practicing. Sorry, Laura. I've got a match that I've got to kind of prepare for.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And we will see you. Bye-bye.